This is not the sun. We are in fact looking at a spotlight in my living room. It's directly overhead. It appears to be a more or less perfect circle. That's great, and in the simple flat earth model, the sun is usually assumed to be something like a spotlight. But there's a problem because the sun is moving, according to the simple flat earth model, and as it moves away from the overhead position, you may observe that the spotlight ceases to appear to be a circle. It now appears very obviously to be an ellipse. It's at about 45 degrees elevation relative to me at the moment, and yep, very definitely elliptical in shape. Now, this does not actually disprove the flat earth model in any way. It does suggest, though, that for the sun to not appear to obviously be an ellipse when it moves away from being directly overhead, it must be extremely far away. You could actually do some calculations and make a first order estimate on how far away the sun would have to be so that there is no observable tendency of the sun to become elliptical in shape when it moves, say, 15 degrees away from the directly overhead of the zenith. I haven't done the calculation just yet. I'll try to do that in a little bit. But it would imply that the sun is, since we assume in the simple flat earth model that on the equinox the sun is moving at approximately 1,000 miles per hour, it would imply that the sun is a tremendous distance overhead in order to make it impossible for us to observe this turning into an ellipse effect. As far as whether the sun actually does observably show a tendency to become an ellipse as it moves away from an overhead position, well, right now the sun outside is not overhead, and if I go and look at it with my solar telescope, it still appears to be a perfect circle. I've observed the sun very nearly overhead, and it appears to be a perfect circle. And really, even when it's at the horizon, it appears to be a perfect circle. All of which tends to imply, at the very least, that if it is a spotlight, it's a spotlight that is very far overhead. Again, not really a problem for the flat earth model, just a matter of, in your flat earth model, you're going to have to account for the fact that the sun is apparently very distant from the earth. So make sure you take that into account. Thanks.